This is a repeat after me song. I won't grow up. Not even for a day. And if they try and make me, then I'll simply run away. Now this is a cute song from Broadway's Peter Pan, but it's also descriptive of a growing problem in this country, an epidemic of immaturity. We're going to talk today a little bit about the causes, symptoms, and treatment of something I call Peter Pan syndrome. You see, young men in this day face a problem. We're called the Peter Pan generation because we are lost boys who don't know how to grow up. What kind of lost are we talking about? Well, for the last calendar year, unemployment for single men between the ages of 18 and 25 has hovered between about 12% and 14%. 56% of young men this age still live at home, according to the most recent Pew Research study. They're very lost. Now contrast that with my friend Tyler Walker. 26 years old, a recent BYU graduate. He and his wife Jessica have been married for almost 2 years now, and they just celebrated the first birthday of their young son, Grant. Why is Tyler so different than his single compatriots? I think the answer is because he's married. Or, as Michael Kimmel, associate professor of sociology at Stony Brook University, would say, the needs and requirements of his family pull him on a more traditional trajectory. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, I've got a brother, a roommate, a son, 23, 24, absolutely not ready to get married. That may be true, but I wonder how much of that has to do with the fact that he grew up in a culture that already tells him how to wait, where pornography teaches him that he can have pleasure without commitment, where video games give him a sense of achievement with very little time and very little effort, and ironically take all his time and effort to give him very little achievement. And that's where the Young Fathers Project comes in. I think it's incredibly important that we start teaching young men sooner that the height of manhood is being a husband and father. This means identifying good role models in the media, in politics, and in our lives. Right now, the best father on television is Homer Simpson. This also means giving them clear expectations about what it means to be a husband and father. In the proclamation to the world on the family, the church says, by divine design, fathers are to preside over their families in love and righteousness and are responsible to provide the necessities of life and protection to their families. What sort of effect does this have on young men? Well, let's go back to Tyler. See, young men 18 to 25 in this country for that same calendar year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, had an unemployment rate that topped out at 4.5%. They earned 7% more than their single compatriots. And it's probably because, according to the National Library of Liberty and Economics, Tyler would be 44% more productive than his single counterparts. He has a family to take care of. He devotes more time to his work because it means something to him. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I'm going to say about half, well, this is great for the young men, but what does this do for me? And this is where the Lost Boys idea takes something of a darker turn. You see, according to the Department of Justice, 51.6% of rapes in this country are committed by men 18 to 25. In contrast, only about 22% of all rapes are committed by married men. You see, by having someone important in their life, having a woman who is important to them, these men learn proper relationships with women. They learn respect. This is Katrina Pearson. She's another recent BYU graduate. Her and Tanner have been married 3 years. Their daughter Amelie is a little over 1.5 now. She talks about the change of opinion her husband had as their marriage continued. And I have a little video interview here that I'd like to show. You hear those words, we, us, together. What would it be like if every young man treated every young woman like Tanner treats Katrina? What would the world be like if more young men prepared to be husbands and fathers? That's the question that the Young Fathers Project really wants us to ask. Because that's the world that I think we can prepare for, so that we have an answer for these young men when they come to us and say, I won't grow up, or worse, I can't grow up. We can turn to them and say, arise from the dust and be men